In 2017, the great Hodor told XRP holders, start getting ready to pick out your beach houses. XRP did a 50x, took a little break, and did more than 12x further. Unbelievable. And it's starting to feel similar, like just a time when everything's clicking, everything's hitting on all cylinders, and it doesn't get any bigger than this. And we're going to connect, all the dots. Why this matters more than most people really understand. Ripple, MiCA license approved, fully compliant, ready for Europe, regulated in Europe, growing demand, trusted by institutions. That was the announcement. MiCA compliant. Now, you might think this is easy. Of course, they were able to get their licensure. They're a billion-dollar enterprise. Well, Binance is not MiCA compliant. They had to withdraw their application. They had to flee Greece and try to find someone else. Tether, I don't even think tried. Like, that ain't going to happen. Now, I would like if both are MiCA compliant. I want, crypto adoption. Great. But it just shows this is really hard. But what you understand is the competitive advantage this will be. And this will become clear as we continue what this really means as we move forward and how big it truly will be. World Economic Forum report, they are recognizing Ripple as institutional digital asset custody and key management provider in the emerging tokenization financial ecosystem. So this is the key to what everyone wants to do. World Economic Forum saying, if you're going to be tokenizing assets, bringing securities on chain, Ripple is the player here. Institutional grade security, enterprise level custody and protection of digital assets, key management built again from the ground up for institutions to power the tokenized future. This is what the World Economic Forum is saying. Now, I'm going to tie this into BlackRock in just a second. Before I continue, though, you see my sign up there, keep the bots out. We have this, it's subscriber only for the comments, and so far, it's really cleaned things up. So let's hope those bots don't figure it out and figure out how to evade my defenses here. All right. So when we take a look at this, the future is tokenized. And we know that BlackRock said they're going to tokenize everything, every stock, every bond, every piece of real estate, you name it, is going to be tokenized. Now, who are the likely players? Because understand, BlackRock, when they went to launch an ETF, they didn't custody the Bitcoin, and they're not going to be the tech backbone to actually tokenizing, all their stocks, all their securities, everything that they offer. They're just not going to do that. That's not their game, right? And so the most likely is Securitize. They're already using them for BUIDL. And of course, Securitize already partnering with Ripple on that. And out of their BUIDL platform, you can cash out to RLUSD to the XRP ledger. So likely Securitize continues on, but it could be Canton, BNY Mellon, Coinbase could jump up here, Firebox, Paxos, Ondo, Chainlink, any of them are really likely tokenization platforms and partners. It's just probably going to be one of those that I just named. There could be other ones, Anchorage Digital. There's a few. But anyway, they're going to pick one of these, almost assuredly. They're not going to build out this platform themselves. But Ripple plays in that role. Ripple's potential role in the tokenized financial system is, well, what the World Economic Forum told us. Custody, key management, settlement infrastructure, liquidity management, the whole software suite they have. They're likely to be a big player here. And understand, there's going to be different players that are going to get these deals. BlackRock might be one and Fidelity another. But you see this huge list of people that are competing with Securitize. There's a whole bunch of them. There aren't a whole lot that can do what Ripple does, that have the years of, on-chain liquidity, being able to manage that and custody and assets in the digital asset age and all of that. There's not a lot. And further, not only do they have to have the experience, the security, the scale that Ripple does, but what's the other key component? Well, what did just happen here with Ripple being MiCA compliant? The whole purpose of going on chain, yeah, it's faster, it's cheaper, it's autonomous, it goes around the clock, but it's taking these markets global. That's what BlackRock wants. They want more funds flowing in to their investment products. They need more investors. They want to go global. And Ripple is securing all of these global licensures that almost no one can match. So they already have very little competition for, they're very important part of this tech stack. And further, no one's going to keep up with them in terms of, are you going to go with someone that you can't reach Europe, that you can't reach Asia, Latin America, the United States? And you can say, well, maybe the current administration favors Ripple because they're a U.S. crypto company. Maybe that's what's happening here. Well, what about MiCA? Why is Europe? Well, because this is built for the institutional tokenization future. Ripple has it all in line. This is all part of the plan. The adoption is going to happen here. And just stressing this again, we see from Wendy O, Trump says crypto is very powerful. He is right now past that Clarity Act. It has to get done. Now, some of it is a little nefarious, but one reason I think this gets done is you're looking at him, the president himself has a huge stake within crypto. Whatever you got, he has many times more invested in this space, and he's going to want that to protect his investments, as is almost everyone in his administration. They're almost all, big time invested in cryptocurrencies. Whether that's a good reason or not to push this through, hey, it's one that's going to incentivize them to get to work and get this thing done. We'll see how it plays out. I'm still hopeful that it happens this year. Now, we have this data, Circle's USDC. This surprised me. I did not expect this. Accounted for roughly 70% of adjusted stablecoin volume per Visa here when compared to Tether. Now, what is this adjusted volume? Well, what Visa does, they look at all the on-chain activity, because Tether still is number one by a country mile. But Visa goes, you know what? A lot of this, that's not really economic activity. This is kind of a bunch of nonsense, inflating the numbers. And Visa adjusts it down. Now, are they right or not? I don't know, but Visa's pretty reliable, right? They must know what they're doing. They've been in the financial business a long time, and they're saying, you know what, today, Circle is 70% of the adjusted stablecoin transaction volume. Real volume with economic purpose. Is it true or not? We will see as we go forward, but that is impressive, and I kind of believe Visa if I have to pick here. It's announced today. Vitalik Buterin has outlined Lean Ethereum, 3 to 4 year overhaul that will replace or augment almost every part of the Ethereum protocol. They want to be more scalable, cheap, faster, all of that kind of stuff. Also, privacy is a big part of it. Ripple, XRPL developers all working on privacy as well. You're going to have that if you're going to meet the institutional needs of the future. Now, this is what I would say. A lot of people tell you, well, Ethereum is so valuable because of the fees. Well, why are they always trying to make the fees cheaper? And they've gone down a huge magnitude. You send a payment now on Ethereum, it's pretty cheap. It's pretty fast. Why are they making it faster and cheaper if their value is derived by having high fees? It doesn't make sense. Of course, we also can do the same thing with XRP. We can make a payment, cost you a bunch of money, and say, well, we're making a bunch of fees. They know the reality here. They'll milk that narrative as long as they can, but it's about usable systems that you can actually build for scale, and that's what Vitalik and the Ethereum developers are trying to do. They're trying to build a system, a complete overhaul, a system that can meet the scale of the future. And 3 or 4 years, I don't know, man. This race is starting now. You would have wanted to start this 3 or 4 years ago. Because I think the adoption is going to be furious. And even if they have the most liquidity, which they do today, they're not going to have the tech stack to meet it all. So you're going to see a ton of overflow. You're going to have to leverage layer twos that only work so much. Guess what? It's going to split over to other chains like the XRP Ledger and Solana, you name it. There's going to be so much action out there for everyone. I don't think it's going to be a problem. But interesting that they keep trying to make this more scalable, cheaper, more efficient, much like what the XRP Ledger already is. Interesting report here. We see XRP Mythbuster. He went over this investigative report that was put out by some people from XRPL Commons and the education initiative that Ripple funds. And what they're looking at, they're trying to understand the capabilities and limitations of current solutions for linking XRP Ledger to EVM sidechains. So we want to not have all that programmability on the XRP Ledger. We would rather push that off to other chains and do all that smart contract work over there, at least the bulk of it. And so they're saying, well, how successful is this right now? And they looked at Interledger Protocol, XLS38D, Axelar, Flare's F assets, and near intent. Everyone knows about Flare and Flare F assets. Not enough people know. Ripple invested in Near early on as well, and probably for this reason, this idea of interoperability, very similar to Flare. And based on decentralization, latency, cost, and user experience, the study concluded that all existing bridges involve significant architecture trade-offs. So none of them are really ready for the end result, according to this research paper, as none simultaneously achieve perfect decentralization, instant latency, and broad connectivity, prompting the need for future research in light of clients and zero knowledge proof. Ripple, XRP Ledger devs, they're going to be building out some of their own solutions. I think they will leverage F assets. They're going to leverage XLR. And they're going to leverage near intents, in my opinion, going forward. But I think we need a little more capability on the XRP ledger to help with that. And I think that some light programmability, I'm assuming, is where they're going with this. But we'll see it play out. I don't know the plan, to be honest with you. If it's just full smart contract capability on the blockchain, if that's their idea, or again, that will help these blockchains link and do a little better there. I'm not sure. We'll see it, but it is an area that needs a lot of work. We see from Benjamin Cohen, the current Bitcoin bear market has been more tame than the last 3 bear markets that started at the end of the post-halvening years. And he says the reason it feels worse is that there was not a euphoria phase, so the price which the bear market started was lower than many had expected. My personal experience, Bitcoin underperformed a little bit. I thought it would go a little bit higher, but within a realm of, it wasn't wildly under. I wasn't surprised how far it went up. And I don't think this bear market has been bad at all. Not if you've been through some of the ones in the past that were just brutal and never ending. We'll see. It might not be over yet, but I'm not really sure what people are looking at. This is nothing. This is easy. We can do this standing on our heads. Now, outside of Bitcoin, if you want something to complain about, at least XRP had some pop because it was so suppressed. But look at Ethereum. I mean, it didn't do much at all. It's problematic for altcoins, but I think we have a lot of pin-up demand. And instead of ETFs being our driver, like it was for Bitcoin, I think that's going to be our compounder ETFs. The driver is going to be adoption utility. And that's what all this video was really about. The tokenization revolution, international payments, it's all going to start being adopted. And that's going to be the driver for your utility coins, your altcoins, your XRPs, your XLMs, your Cantons, your networks like this. Lastly, we see this. Grayscale Research believes Strategies Bitcoin sale last week. They sold $200-something million worth of Bitcoin. It's going to bring price stability. This is the thing. I don't know for stockholders of Strategy if they should be happy about this, the common stockholders. But that's not really my concern. I agree with this, that it's going to bring some stability to Strategy, and it's going to bring a lot of fear from the market that they're going to be cratering. Now, I don't think their prefers get back to par. I don't see it, at least not currently. Maybe the market gets more bullish, but that might be a better thing anyway. Maybe he can't borrow as much money as he otherwise would. I'm not sure, but I think we got, as crypto investors that are worried about the crypto market, Strategy is a behemoth, and it seems like they've kind of calmed the waters there. I've said before, of course, they're going to have to sell Bitcoin. It's an unsustainable model the way they were going, but I think this will bring some calm, and I like that. I don't want distress. I don't want Strategy cratering. We're all going to lose money the more violent that gets, so it seems like we're at a good spot there. Let's hope this continues, at least for another cycle. Let me know what you think down below. As always, please like, please subscribe. The revolution will be televised right here on Jungle Link.